It's Wednesday, June 29th, 2022. Before I start the video today, let me remind all of you, please make sure you subscribe to this channel, give this video a thumbs up, and share this video and all of these videos all over your social media. Send it out to your friends. But without further ado, I want to get right into what's happening today. A lot of volatility in these markets today. Dow Jones closes up in the green around 80 points. Everything else finished really flat in the red. And in my opinion, this is just my opinion, feel free to comment down below. With the news that we received today in regards to this economy and some of the data that we got today and what Jerome Powell said today, these markets should have been down, or Dow Jones should have been down over 1,000 points. Markets across the board should have been absolutely beaten up and hammered today. They should have really, literally collapsed today on more of the bad news that we received, but no, they didn't. But let's just go over some of the bad news. Bed Bath & Beyond today, down 21%. Year to date, it is down 66%. Carnival Cruise Lines, down 15% today. Year to date, down 58%. And there are rumors that it could go to zero. All the cruise lines across the board just absolutely destroyed today and this year. Home builders destroyed. Year to date, I mean, they're down 20, 30+%. Airlines destroyed today. Most of you have seen the flight delays, the cancellations by the thousands. Remember though, over the period of the health crisis, we bailed out the airlines yet again with another $84 billion. And look at the chaos in the airline industry right now. What did they do with the $84 billion? Where is it? What did they do with it? Why in the world is there so much disruption in the airline industry after we gave them another $84 billion? First quarter GDP revised down to negative 1.6%. I mean, think about the news that we're getting. And you look at what's happening to these industries. They're being absolutely destroyed. And the market flat today. Dow Jones up today. Only 1/3 of U.S. workers are back in the office full time. And yet we talk about this economy being open. There's no way this economy is open. This economy is on life support. It is having seizure after seizure after seizure. And this economy, I think, is in the worst shape ever in U.S. history. I think this is the worst economy in U.S. history. 83% of Americans cut back on spending as economy careens towards crisis. Poll finds this on The Hedge today. U.S. consumer sentiment and confidence have deteriorated for households. Provident Bank in New Jersey found 83% of respondents slashed personal spending due to soaring prices of food and gasoline, with 23% indicating that they had to make drastic changes to their spending for financial survival. 10.5% said that they eliminated non-essential purchases, and 72% said that they had to make some sort of changes to their personal travel habits. Another article today on The Hedge, 93% of working Americans have a side hustle. 51% are considering it due to inflation, new study finds. We've talked about this for a long time now, the importance of having a side hustle. Most people now are taking on side hustles, not for extra money, but just to cover expenses and the bills that they have right now. We're in a period where a job just isn't good enough, just isn't going to cut it at this point. You know, you look back in the 1950s and 60s, where one person in the household could go to work, you could buy a house, you could own 2 cars, and you could put plenty of food on the table and have 4 kids. Wow, have things changed, haven't they? I mean, people are working 2 and 3 jobs and they are struggling. A new study from Insuranks found 93% of Americans working today have a side hustle. The age range, get this, this is unbelievable. The age range of people taking on side hustles is from 18 to 84 years of age. The study also found that just as many Americans are working 2 side hustles as they are 1. 10% are working 3 side hustles. 40% are doing this just to cover their bills. I mean, this is really concerning data. And when you look at the amount of people now working 1 side hustle, 2 side hustles, 3 side hustles, just to keep their heads above water, just to cover the bills, how in the world is this economy functioning today? How in the world do we even have a real estate bubble when you look at this? Most Americans cannot afford to buy a house right now. It's game over. And how long until this affects the housing market to where we see a massive housing crash? How long can this fake stock market continue to stay afloat when the economy has already crashed and it's crashing even beyond the crash? It's still going down. People are struggling unlike any time we've ever seen in U.S. history. People in this country don't have money saved up. They don't have a cash reserve. They don't have assets. They don't have a net worth. And they are completely unprepared for what is coming. The worst is yet to come, ladies and gentlemen. And this is, I mean, I'm glad that people are out there hustling. And if you have the time and energy, work those extra hours to put that money away so you have a cash reserve so that you can buy the emergency foods, so that you can buy the extra things that you're going to need to get through this collapse. This collapse is going to get really, really ugly very, very soon. And today, more volatility in the markets. I believe the Fed was back in buying the 10-year. They pushed the 10-year down to 3.09, 3.1. But you know the Fed is in there buying this garbage, and they're playing both ends here. But look, they are going to raise rates in July. As of yesterday, I thought 50 basis points. I may have to go back to 75 basis points now because there is just so much inflation out there. And the Fed is at least admitting to it now, although they are so late to the party. But we'll talk about that in a second. Another article today, optimism among U.S. business leaders drops to new low amid rising inflation and supply issues. Again, this is just another bellwether to where this is all going. There has been no improvement in the economy. Somebody please tell me where the good news is, where the light at the end of the tunnel is, where the improvements are with this economy. It just continues to get worse and worse and worse. And look, I'm not reading old news. I'm reading the news that just came out today. How about this one? Mortgage refinancing remains depressed. This is on Fox Business. Refis are down 80% compared to last year. What does that tell you? What does that tell you what is happening in the real estate market right now? This is going to get much, much worse. I believe rates are going higher. CNBC, Jerome Powell vows to prevent inflation from taking hold in the U.S. for the long run. His most important priority right now is going to be raising interest rates. He said the clock is running out for the Fed. He also said we must accept higher recession risk to fight inflation. They're going to put us in a recession, ladies and gentlemen. In fact, we're already in a recession. But they're going to raise rates. They're going to continue to raise rates. And I don't know, are they going to continue buying bonds at the other end and play both sides of this? Or at some point, will they be forced to tighten the balance sheet? I have no idea. This is way beyond my pay grade, let me tell you. Nobody that I know is behind the scenes at the Fed that can tell us what exactly is happening. Are they going to continue? We know they're buying the 10-year Treasury bonds. They're playing both sides of this, both ends of this candle. They're burning both ends of this candle. But they're going to continue raising rates. The question is, will they continue buying bonds? Will they continue buying that 10-year bond at the other end? If they begin to tighten, we're going to see real big trouble. But anyway, you slice this, if they keep raising rates and buying bonds at the other end, we're going to see even bigger trouble. 4th of July barbecue price up $10 1 year after White House celebrated 16-cent discount. This on Fox Business. This 4th of July is going to cost you 17% more than the 4th of July last year. Ground beef up 36% from last year. Just think about that. And yet they're telling us, they're telling you, they're telling me that the CPI, that inflation is only 8.6%. Yet ground beef is up 36%. Real estate up 20%. Rents up 17, 20, 30%. You name it, everything is up. Gasoline up 50%. And yet they're telling you and I that inflation's only 8.6%. There's no doubt it's at least double that or way beyond that. I mean, there's people saying that inflation's 23, 25%. You can't argue it because depending where you live, what kind of industry you're in, you're probably seeing 20+% inflation. Here's another one from CNBC. Crypto hedge fund, Three Arrows Capital plunges into liquidation as market crash takes toll. Again, another casualty of the crypto winter. I hope that their creditors, their investors get paid. Probably not, but more of this is coming. We're going to see more of these crypto banks, crypto hedge funds, cryptos in general, all going to zero. Retailers weigh cost of paying customers to keep unwanted items. This is fascinating. Retailers now have so much inventory that they cannot afford to take back items that were purchased. It costs them too much to put them back on the shelves now with all the inventory that they have. And so now they're going to run into a problem. So they're going to maybe say, look, keep the item and we'll give it to you for half price or 75 off, or maybe we'll just give you the item just so we don't have to take it back. All kind of different scenarios here of how this is going to play out. But when do people begin to realize, hey, if I buy something and return it, I'll get it for half price or 75 off, or maybe I won't have to pay for it all. I'll just get my money back 100%. So I get the item for free. So how much will the retailers lose when they implement this idea where they're just going to weigh the cost of paying customers to keep it? It's unbelievable what we're seeing. It's just, it's really unbelievable. So a very interesting day. Again, more volatility. Tomorrow's going to be a very interesting day in these markets, but do they even matter at this point? They're so fake. Watching the Dow Jones close up 80 points today was laughable. It really was laughable. I just gave you a couple little tidbits of the bad news today. I could sit here for an hour and just give you more data, more statistics of how bad this economy is, but we don't have all day, right? So, but just on the stuff that I gave you today, Dow Jones up 80 points, laughable. It's a joke. These markets are so fake, so controlled. But at some point, they are going to lose all control of this. There's no way that this is going to keep going. And I'm happy to see in the comments, so many of you now can see right past this. You can see right through it. You see what the Fed is doing. You see how fake these markets are, how controlled and manipulated they are. They mean nothing now. They mean absolutely nothing. And yet there are zombies out there who believe in these markets, believe what they're being told on the television, and they're making these life-altering decisions with their investments based on the data that the television and the Fed is giving them. And when are people going to realize and wake up that, look, the Fed said this was transitory. They lied. They always lie. They're always wrong. They tell you how great everything is right before the crash. And they're so late to the game with interest rates. Jerome Powell, he's got him and himself boxed in, him and the Fed boxed into a corner, and there is no way out now. This ends in a very, very bad way. And I dare them to reverse course now. I dare them to start printing money. I dare them to lower interest rates. I double dare them. Do it. You might get a short relief in these markets. You might get a short-lived rally in these markets, but you are going to cause hyperinflation in America, and it will bring everything down. In my opinion, this Fed, Jerome Powell, he needs to get ultra aggressive now. Rates must go up at least 1 full percentage point from here on out, and they must stop buying bonds. They've got to stop buying bonds at the other end, because they are just defeating the purpose of raising rates by buying bonds and printing more money and expanding the balance sheet. This is not helping anybody in any way. It's just going to continue to hurt the economy, hurt the middle class, hurt the poor, and we're just going to sit here spinning our wheels while they continue to print money at the other end. So I just don't understand that. Now, if they begin to tighten the balance sheet and raise rates, we're going to feel pain, but at least we're fighting inflation. At least we're going to get inflation under control. We're not going to get anything under control by printing money at one end and raising rates at the other. The only thing we're going to do is cause more devastation and more harm to the economy and the middle class. I'm going to leave it there today. Please comment down below. A lot of people said that we would see a 1,500 point rally this week. Not happening, just not happening. In fact, I would not be surprised if we see a very, very bad day tomorrow. I could be completely wrong. There are no fundamentals in these markets whatsoever. They are so manipulated at this point. But based on what we are talking about today and the data that we have, these markets should be absolutely destroyed tomorrow. They should have been destroyed today. But the way it is, the little man behind the curtain in the Wizard of Oz there, you know, pulling the strings and the cables and pressing the buttons and turning the knobs, you know, he's still behind the curtain there playing this game. But it's all being exposed right now, and I'm so happy so many people are seeing just how fraudulent and fake all of this is. And that means that you're taking action and you're preparing, because it's all going to come to an end. There's no doubt about it. This all is going to come to an end. The housing market, the bond market, the stock market, derivatives, the auto market, it's all going to come down. You cannot have people working 2, 3, and 4 jobs just to keep their heads above water. You cannot have inflation continuing to run out of control. You can't have people with just leisure and hospitality and service sector jobs keeping this economy afloat. It's just not going to happen. If we do not stop spending as a nation, if this government doesn't get its spending under control, if we do not get real jobs back here, manufacturing jobs, if we do not begin to produce things, it is over. You're going to see America turn into a third world country. Look, it is a matter of time before China takes over Taiwan. We're not going to do a damn thing about it, okay? Because if we did, China will cut us off like there's no tomorrow, okay? All they have to do is cut the U.S. pharmaceutical trade off, and millions of people will die within a week, okay? I mean, think about that. We import 90% of our pharmaceuticals from them. All they have to do is cut it off, and it's game over. They start cutting off all of our cheap retail, all of our cheap products that we import from China. The shelves go empty, right? Walmart's done. There's nothing on the shelves. All these cheap items that we depend on doesn't show up. The pharmaceuticals don't show up. You know, the lithium, the minerals that we need for solar panels and EV, it's not going to show up. And so there's no way we're going to do anything about Taiwan. So China will cut us off and it will be game over. And so if we do not begin getting off of this dependency with other countries, we're in very, very big trouble. Comment down below. Let me know your thoughts. God bless all of you. Thanks for tuning in. Share this video, and I look forward to speaking with all of you very, very soon.